Well, a good afternoon to you, everyone. Hoping that you're having a good day so far. The weather today has not been the best. It's been dreary, and we've actually had some on and off rain all throughout the start of the day. And actually, this week has been pretty crazy. We had those storms that moved in Tuesday, and we actually had another line of storms that moved in late Memorial Day. And now we're issuing our third weather impact alert of the week, as we have the chance of some strong to severe storms, mainly for our most eastern counties. So let me take this full view towards all of our sky cams as of right now. And here's a look at Macon, Warner Robins, the National Fairgrounds, and downtown Dublin. So Macon, Warner Robins, and Perry, they're actually experiencing light to steady showers, but it wasn't as heavy as what it was an hour ago. The heaviest of the rain is definitely going to downtown Dublin. You can see the rain there pouring with the cars going using their windshield wipers. So that is associated with a cell of rain that is moving towards the southeast, but we have even more rain coming through in the next couple of hours. Let's see the current temperature, making 75 degrees. Here's a look at the headlines. So 2 more days of storm chances. So we have this afternoon and evening, and we also have tomorrow. Now tomorrow, the chances of rain and storms for everyone in central Georgia, that increases because that's associated with a classic line of rain and storms that we typically see in the springtime. We've seen it so many times in March and in April itself, not so much in the month of May. May has been associated with these rogue thunderstorms that become organized, and they decide to affect only a certain part of central Georgia. But for tomorrow, it's going to be one of those lines that will affect everyone and provide some storms and potentially strong storms for all of central Georgia. So that passes through tomorrow. That's associated with the front. Then an awesome weekend. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Let me tell you, Saturday looks beautiful. Mostly sunny conditions, the humidity not so high, just great stuff. And we actually have a 10% chance of rain for Sunday as well. And a great start to June overall too. I'll show you that with the 7-day forecast. But because of our storm chances later today and for tomorrow, we have a weather impact alert. So this is due to the potential of strong to severe storms for later this afternoon. Let me pull this back. So for the rest of the afternoon and for the early evening today, and the same thing goes for tomorrow afternoon and evening. So here are the impacts. Gusty to damaging winds. We have the increased chance of seeing severe weather. So if we have a severe thunderstorm warning associated with winds, we'll have winds of up to 60 miles per hour, could be locally heavy. Large hail. Hail was really rampant at the end of April and early May. Thankfully, we haven't seen much of those large hail producers at the end of the month, but I think some large hail is possible for later today and for tomorrow. And then the chances of a brief spin-up tornado. This is just associated with any of the springtime systems. So today we do have the chance, but it's not really high. I think the chances are a little bit higher for tomorrow with that frontal boundary moving in towards our neck of the woods. So here's a look at the satellite and radar. So most of central Georgia receiving some action. Let's zoom in. So towards our north, seeing Monroe County getting light to steady rain, just some sprinkles too. Jasper, same thing. Putnam County had a cell of some heavy rain just a couple of minutes ago. It's moving through Eatonton. Jones County, actually, the eastern side of Jones County is experiencing a lull right now, and the western side is experiencing light showers to some sprinkles. Same thing goes for Macon. They actually experienced a lull a couple minutes ago. Now we're starting to see the activity in terms of light showers pick up. And the same thing goes Crawford County, Upson County, Taylor County, Macon County, Peach County, and Houston County. Just light showers and some periods of lulls from the rain. We go down to the south, and Crisp County, Wilcox County experienced heavy downpours just 2 hours ago, right around the midday time. Now they're experiencing a break from the rain. That cell that produced the heavy rain is now moving into Lawrence County. That's why on that sky cam showing downtown Dublin, it showed heavy rain, and that's exactly what they're experiencing right now. Dodge County experiencing light showers, just some sprinkles. Same things goes to Bleckley County, Pulaski County. So the worst of the weather right now is in Lawrence County and in Treutlen County, seeing actually a heavy cell of rain within that border of Treutlen and East Lawrence County. This is all associated with just a wave of rain and storms just produced by increased amounts of moisture and another boundary. So we have more rain coming in from our west and central Alabama. We also have more rain and some thunderstorms coming just north of Panama City. This, I'm not really worried. I don't think that will impact us. But based off the movement of the rain, let me just show you. This heavy cell coming in from east central Alabama, this is the one that's going to provide more rain and the chances of more embedded thunderstorms for later this afternoon. So I'm just going to highlight this. Here you go, this little wave right here. It's just moving through Columbus, east central Alabama, and based off the general direction as it's going towards the east, I'd say we could see more heavy rain potentially for Macon, Perry, Warner Robins, Wilcox, Douly, and Crisp County as it continues to move east, northeast. And it should be here in the next couple of hours. Here are the temperatures. So we're well into the 70s, but notice our easternmost counties: Sandersville, Wrightsville, Dublin, McRae, Vidalia, Swainsboro. They're all having temperatures within the upper 70s, and we actually have some lower 80s on the board. This is important because we know high temperatures is one of the ingredients needed for strong storms. And we also have an abundance of moisture. This is very nasty looking. We're seeing dew point values into the lower 70s, which is considered muggy on the scale. So this is a very summer-like setup right here. And you have relatively high temperatures towards the east, but they also have extremely nasty, muggy air. And you combine that together, and that's where you have something called instability, which is generally the fuel needed for strong to severe thunderstorms. So that's the reason why places east of Dublin, east of Eastman, Abbeville, Wrightsville, and Sandersville, anywhere east of that line has a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, because those are the places that have more ingredients for severe weather or strong storms as compared to the other places in central Georgia towards the west. So those are the places that have level 2. Everywhere west of Dublin, Eastman, Abbeville, Wrightsville, and Sandersville are within a level 1. So it can happen. A severe thunderstorm warning is possible, but the chances are higher for the most eastern counties. And today is also going to be one of those days where it's just mainly rain, but within the batch of rain, there's just a potential, maybe a cell or a sector of storms that just develop and it just produces gusty winds. Here's a look at tomorrow. So now our outlook is way more consistent. Everyone is within a level 2 risk for severe weather. This is just associated with that frontal boundary moving in, providing a line of rain and storm. So everyone in central Georgia will receive at least something. I'd say they'll see storms, and there is a potential that severe weather could be widespread, just like those storms that we experienced in March and in April. So let's go over the timing. So this model, the high resolution model, shows that the waves of rain, that's going to continue all throughout the rest of the afternoon. The chances for storms and strong storms, they'll be at their highest by 4 to 5 o'clock, where the heating will be at their highest. And this will be mainly for the most eastern counties, such as Lawrence, Telfair, Wheeler, Montgomery, Treutlen, Johnson, and Washington County. Let me go back there. That will continue all throughout the rest of the afternoon, early evening, start to fizzle out by 7 to 8 o'clock once the sun goes down. But we could potentially see some isolated showers and sprinkles in the late night, early morning tomorrow. Now for tomorrow morning, starting off the day mostly cloudy. There's that front moving in, going in through Atlanta by midday, and could reach our northwestern counties by 2 to 3 o'clock or maybe a little earlier. But the general timing of the arrival of the front in the northwestern counties such as Jasper and Monroe will be around 2 o'clock. And then it'll progressively move through our area. So go through Macon, Milledgeville, potentially Taylor County, 3 to 4 o'clock, going southward, 5 to 6 o'clock, going into Pulaski, Bleckley, Washington County, Houston County, right over there. Move into our southeastern counties by 6, 7 o'clock, and then it'll be out of our area by the late evening. So 7, 8 o'clock at night, it should be gone, and we'll be left with fair weather. And this is where I get excited, because I mentioned at the start of the stream, this week has been crazy weather-wise. Well, we finally have a break ahead of us. So for Saturday, where everyone's free, where everyone has outdoor plans, well, go ahead and do them, because it's going to be absolutely beautiful, mostly sunny conditions, just great stuff overall. Notice no blips, not even clouds showing up, just dry, great weather. And then we get into the long range future view. Here's a look at Sunday, trying to show some rain towards our north in North Georgia, but that looks to break apart. So we have a 10% chance of rain for Sunday. Overall, the start of the work week and the start of the month of June just looks great. Not showing any blips, just showing dry weather as we get into next week. So that should be great news for everyone. Here's a look at the winds. Calm right now. So that batch of rain that's currently moving in, it's not looking like it's producing any gusty winds at the moment. Here's a look at the future view wind gusts. Winds could increase as that secondary wave in east central Alabama moves through, looking at gusts of up to 18 to 16 miles per hour. Now, if any of these storms turn severe, then of course wind gusts could go into 60 miles per hour, but that's going to be very local and very confined to a specific area. We get into 7 o'clock, showing potentially 32 mile per hour wind gusts in Vidalia. And then the rest of the night should be calm in nature. And we get into tomorrow. So around midday, wind gusts will start to ramp up ahead of the line. And that's all due to the pressure gradient. So here we go, 1 to 2 o'clock, 22 mile per hour wind gusts, Macon, Cordele, Dublin, Vidalia, getting close to 20 miles per hour. And the front itself, along the leading edge, that's where the wind gusts are going to be at their highest. And if we do see widespread severe weather associated with this line, then of course the wind gusts will also be way higher than this number, maybe close to 40, 50 miles per hour, could be 60 miles per hour in some spots. This line will then move through just like what I showed you on that future view a couple of frames ago, leaving our area by 8 o'clock, going in towards the southeastern part of the state. And after that, gusts should be right around 15 to 20 miles per hour. So generally a light breeze as compared to the gusty winds from the front itself. Now, of course, the major question is, what about our tornado chances? Tornado chances are not impressive with any of these systems as compared to the other systems that we received earlier this month, but the chances are still there. So this is one model that shows the tornado chances. Notice it's very slim. You could barely see any of the gray colors that indicate the chances for tornadoes. So this model says that the tornado chances are very low for the rest of the day today. And then for tomorrow, a little bit higher. You can see shades of white. So for reference, the whiter the color, the higher the chances for tornado. So that you can see that it increases the chances by 5 to 6 o'clock for the northeastern counties. But it's not anything impressive. But I will tell you this, even with these models showing low tornado chances, it's still the month of May, which is peak tornado season. So anything can happen, but I'm not expecting anything crazy. If we do see a tornado, it'll be a very short spin-up tornado. So overall, a tornado warning or two is possible tomorrow, but I'd say the main threat will be gusty winds. So here's a high-resolution model showing a couple of pockets of white, which is low on the scale. Tomorrow, as that front moves in, sorry about that, that just zoomed on through. As the front moves in, you'll see more widespread chances of tornadoes, but still white, which is low on the scale. And then it just completely takes away all of the chances right around 6 to 7 o'clock in central Georgia. All right. In terms of rain, so the past 2 days, we've seen close to an inch of rain in some spots. Perry has received an inch. Forsyth has received an inch. Places north of Ellaville has received an inch. South of Eastman, actually almost 2 inches. The places with the least amount of rain is near Eatonton and near Milledgeville, where they're half an inch or getting close to an inch itself. And the most impressive rainfall totals are in Montgomery County, where they have 3 inches of rain in the past 2 days. I don't think we're going to have any impressive rainfall totals associated with these systems for the next 2 days. Models show that we could add on another inch for the rest of the week. Places that have higher chances of rainfall totals, or adding more inches of rainfall totals, will be for South Monroe County, North Bibb. But otherwise, expect around an inch of rain for the next 2 days. All right, so let's recap our weather impact alert for today and for tomorrow. This weather impact alert is for the rest of the afternoon and for the evening today. Same thing for tomorrow. So this is for the chances of strong to severe storms. In my full opinion, I think the chances of strong to severe storms are higher for tomorrow, and I'd say everyone will also have that chance, as we'll have widespread storms moving in. Today, we could have an isolated storm, but those chances will be higher for the eastern counties for the rest of the day today. The need, have a way to receive alerts and stay up to date with the changes. The month of May has been a crazy month in terms of forecasting. Thankfully, we're seeing model consistency within these systems coming in for later today and for tomorrow. So there is more certainty in regards to the forecast, but of course, just stay up to date with the changes. I think the thing that could change will be the timing for tomorrow. Thankfully, the consistency has shown, the models have shown consistency in terms of an early afternoon arrival, but we'll have to monitor if there's any sort of changes. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. So today, we'll have that weather impact alert, and actually, that 7-day forecast just updated. So around 3 o'clock, 2 to 3 o'clock, it moves up a day. So tomorrow, of course, we have that weather impact alert. Saturday, we don't have that weather impact alert. Saturday actually is going to be a beautiful day overall, so I'll have to update that 7-day forecast for Bend later. But after the storms that we're going to experience for the rest of the day today and for tomorrow, the weekend should be great. We'll have low rain chances. And then also for the start of the next work week will be also amazing for the start of June. So I'm really excited about that. So that is the discussion in regards to the chances of storms for the rest of the day today and tomorrow. Now I'm going to check the comments and answer any questions that you have. And I already see talks about Twister. Good movie. I actually need to rewatch it. So go ahead. I know most of the questions are asking about specific spots. In regards to the chances for storms and rain for later today, that's more of a nowcasting, so we'll have to just base it off the satellite and radar. For tomorrow, in terms of telling you whether you'll see rain or storms at what time, that's a little bit easier because we can just show you where the line is in terms of the models. So I'm going to go back towards the future view. All right, I'm going to answer Lopez Jennifer's question. What time are the storms supposed to hit tomorrow in Byron? All right. So this model shows it coming into Peach County by 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Timing could change, but it's looking more likely that it'll be later in the afternoon. Patrick Phelan, I still believe that Waffle House will be open. Actually, it's not that I believe. I know Waffle House will be open tomorrow. So it will not be anything insanely robust, so you can enjoy your Waffle House. What about Jackson, Georgia? All right, in Butts County. So Jackson will be one of the first people to receive these storms. So by 2 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock, you will be able to receive those storms, and they'll move into Butts County. Any tornado risk? So there is a chance of a tornado. I don't think it will be the main risk that we have to watch out for with these storms. Main risk will be gusty winds. Let me pull up the models showing you the tornado risk. So we have a low chance of a tornado for later today. The chances are higher for our places towards our east. Notice it is barely showing anything. So for reference, whenever it shows any color at all, the brighter the color, the higher the chances for tornadoes. It's showing very dim gray colors. So that means that this model is not impressed with the tornado chances overall. Still shows that it's there, but it's not saying that it's high. So there's a small tornado chance for the rest of the day today. Tomorrow, tornado chances are increased. You can see more white shades, especially towards our northeast, but still not impressive. I will say that I cannot rule out a tornado warning. I think if a tornado warning occurs tomorrow, especially, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, going back to the future view. There we go. So here is the run of the future view. So those waves will continue to move through our area for the rest of the afternoon and evening. By 7, 8 o'clock after sunset, they should depart our area. Could be left with some isolated showers. Now we get into tomorrow. Here's that line moving through the northwestern counties by 2 to 3 o'clock. Let's go hour by hour. 3, getting into Macon, Milledgeville, Roberta, Butler, and Taylor County. Get to 4 o'clock, continuing to move southward, getting into Houston County, so Perry, Warner Robins. And then we get into 5, 6 o'clock. A lot of people will be asking for Dublin, so that's around the time where it could affect Lawrence County in general. Then we get to 7, 8 o'clock, going into Telfair County, and then departing our neck of the woods by 8. So this model shows those time frames. I'd say that they could absolutely change. Just expect potential storms in the late afternoon, early evening, but it's looking more likely due to the model consistency that it could arrive in our northwestern counties by 2 to 3 o'clock. Okay, so I will be on for 4 more minutes. Let's stay on to 2:30. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'll show this once again, since most of the questions will be regarding location and the timing. So light to steady rain, let's move this back. Light to steady rain will continue for the rest of the afternoon. Storm chances are highest in the late afternoon, so 4 to 5 o'clock, and the chances for strong storms are higher towards our most eastern counties, where they're within a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Then we get into tomorrow, where we get our secondary event. A classic line of rain and storms could be reaching our northwestern counties by 2 o'clock, and then progressively moving southward into Macon, Milledgeville, Roberta, 3 to 4 o'clock, get into Houston County, 4 to 5 o'clock, and then Lawrence County, 6 to 7 o'clock, and then departing our most southeastern counties by 7 to 8 o'clock at night. Wind projections, yep. So here are the winds. Winds should pick up generally once that secondary wave arrives by 4 to 5 o'clock. So showing gusts of up to 20, 23 miles per hour in Macon, getting it to Dublin, 18 miles per hour gusts. Now, this doesn't take into account the potential for severe storms. So if there is a misbehaving cell within that wave of rain, then you could have gusts way higher than what's shown, where you could have gusts of up to 40, 50, or maybe 60 miles per hour. Then for tomorrow around midday, before the arrival of the front, gusts will go up to 19 to potentially 20 miles per hour. And then the front itself will bring the gustiest of the winds on the leading edge of the line. And on the leading edge of the line is where you'll have the highest chances of severe weather. So anytime you're within a severe thunderstorm, you'll have winds of up to 50 to 60 miles per hour. So that will go through, and it's showing 40 miles per hour in Vidalia. We'll see if that verifies. But the gusty winds will be along the frontal boundary. Once the frontal boundary leaves our area by 7 to 8 o'clock, then the winds should just die down back to normal. All right. What about Douly County? So I'm going to show you that. So I'll answer the Douly County question and the rain question, and then those will be my 2 final questions of the stream. So Douly County, you'll receive rain the next couple of hours, and you have the chance of seeing some storms. But the storms are highest towards the east, so you still have a chance of storms. You're in the level 1, but it won't be as high as places such as Lawrence County, Johnson County, and Treutlen County. We get into tomorrow afternoon. That's when the storm chances are widespread. So for Douly County, it says around 4, 5 o'clock, could be a little later at 6 o'clock. So the general time frame for Douly County will be 4 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And then once again, that line departs our area by 7 to 8 o'clock. All right. And then Christopher, here is the rainfall model. So over the past 2 days, we received 1 inch, 2 inches of rain. I think the same thing could be true for the next 48 hours. So either you will receive close to 1 inch or a little bit over to 1 inch of rain. This model shows that the highest chances of heavy rainfall and higher rainfall totals will be north of Macon and South Monroe County. But all in all, just go in with the expectation of just having yet another inch of rain. All right, so that's the last question that I'm going to answer. It's now 2:30. Ben is going to be here too. So if we see any severe thunderstorm warnings, Ben is going to be the man who will give you the necessary coverage needed. So hopefully you are informed of what to expect for the rest of the day today and for tomorrow. And hopefully you have a great end to the week. And I'm also hoping the best for you for this weekend. I'm excited about how great the weather is for the weekend and for the start of June. So hopefully you start off June with an amazing start. Thank you very much and have a great day.